Okay, so moving right along, now we're gonna go over our Apgar scores. So I've got my poster, my little sign here of my Apgar scores. Apgar stands for the appearance, the pulse, grimace, activity, and respirations of the baby. So we're gonna go over all of the meanings of each. With the Apgar, they're gonna get on a scale of 0, 1 to 2 for each of the sections. The highest you can obviously get is a 10, of which no babies very rarely get a 10. You would do this assessment at 1 minute and 5 minutes to assess the baby's status. This would be done with our newborn assessment. So first and foremost with appearance, I'm gonna sit the baby up. So I'm gonna be assessing the appearance of the baby, whether or not they're blue, the extremities are just blue, or there's no blue coloration at all. Very rarely will there be no blue coloration because instantly after birth, babies are not gonna be always all pink. So my little baby here, I'm gonna go ahead and give her a 1. Her extremities are mildly blue, not extremely blue, and her full body is not blue. Okay, so then I'm gonna go on to her pulse. We want babies' pulses to be at 100 or more. That's normal for a baby. I know in adult humans and regular humans that would be tachycardic, but in babies that's normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and assess the pulse of my baby, and her heart rate is, her pulse is at 108 beats a minute. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the grimace of my baby. Next, I'm gonna go to the stimulation on the infant. And at this point, I would go ahead and stroke somewhere lightly of my baby to see if I get any response from her on stimulation. My baby cries on stimulation. So we're gonna go ahead and give her a 2 for grimace. She's crying on stimulation. So far my baby's at a 5 Apgar score. We're gonna move on next to the activity. So typically babies keep their hands and legs kind of flexed. So I'm just gonna move the arms around, move them around. And I notice that there is some flexion in her. She does not resist extension. She allows me to flex her. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her a 1 for the activity score. And then respirations. I'm gonna take my stethoscope and I'm gonna listen to my respirations, and I'm gonna do that for an entire minute. And while I'm listening to my respirations on my Apgar score, I see that there's an area where I can rate whether my patient has no respirations, of which if my patient had no respirations or no pulse, my patient would need to be resuscitated. She definitely has respirations and a pulse. And we're gonna say they're weak, irregular, and slow respirations. And then at the end of that, I will go ahead and mark what my patient's Apgar score is. So I rated her a 1 for appearance, a 2 for pulse, a 2 for grimace, a 1 for activity, and then a 1 for respirations. So at 1 minute, she's a 7, and then I would do this assessment again at the 5 minute mark. And that is it for my Apgar scores. Next video, I'm going to be doing my medication administration on my infant. Thank you.